I'm lounging with my
And we are live.
What up, Misfits? This is your host, Nick Wiggins.
And the tech guy, Dave, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 5, 1 to go. Take it away, Nick.
Hey, this is a big spoiler review. So if you haven't seen this episode, well, I don't know what's wrong with you. Listen, the opening scene of episode 5 was big. To me, it was like Anthony Mackie and Sebastian playing these characters. Seeing them all together was probably one of the best fighting scenes that we've seen in the MCU since Captain America Civil War. Wyatt Russell playing John F. Walker in a rage that you've never seen a character become. It's like he went from becoming a hero to becoming the villain in an instant in the short episodes. And I'm proud of Wyatt Russell playing this character, and I hope to see him more in as John F. Walker in the future MCU. And seeing Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie playing these two characters going against a foe that they never trusted and never liked, it was probably the best thing, because I know Bucky's character, he was ready just to say, F it. I've been waiting to take this shield from you since the beginning.
One thing I hope that happens is I hope John F. Walker isn't killed off. I hope he continues beyond episode 6 and this fight scene really played out. Another takeaway for me, not just that the serum amplifies more of who you already are. I think there's something still wrong with the serum, and they haven't figured it out. And that's why he became so much stronger, so much faster, but able to take on Sam and Bucky at the same time. It's very interesting how they did this scene.
Yeah, but didn't it remind you a little bit of the ending of Captain America Civil War, well, the third act, when you saw Captain America and Winter Soldier go against Iron Man?
A little bit. I can see that.
All the rage and all the frustration of being a soldier to being Captain America to being probably the world's most hated hero of all time. It just dawns me that everybody in real life, they've been trying to defend this character, but in actuality, he's still the villain of the whole story.
Seems like it. And, the power broker is yet to be revealed. So Torres back consulting with Sam.
Yeah, I get the feeling that when Sam gave up his wings to Torres, I keep on getting the feeling that probably in the episode 5, in episode 6, or probably if we get season 2, that they probably going to let Torres become the next Falcon, because in the comic books, Torres becomes the next Falcon.
Okay, that's very interesting. I didn't know that. All right, court martial or lack thereof, slap on the wrist.
Yeah, I mean, like, we all thought that most of us thought that he was going to get court martial, go to jail, or get some kind of term of punishment. But this was sort of like he got the punishment, but it was sort of like a slap in the wrist, because he thanks to his record, it saved him from being court martialed. And the thing is, he did a poor job of being Captain America, but at the same time, he did mention that he did what the government said to him to do. He did what he was supposed to, because he was a soldier. Unlike Steve was still a soldier, but he was still a hero, and he had his own mind. John, he didn't. He just obeyed orders, and he did terribly as Captain America to me.
I like this scene, but I like how they talked about his exemplary service to the military and his missions. I just wish in the previous episodes they had led with some of that, even if it were a flashback to him doing those things. It would have made this scene a lot more credible in the eyes of the viewers, especially those that weren't familiar with John F. Walker from the comic books until they saw Falcon and the Winter Soldier on screen for Disney+. But overall, this scene worked well, and I liked it.
I do agree. I hope that if Disney Plus ever thinks about doing a John F. Walker miniseries, I hope they talk about his past a little bit, and we get a chance to see a little bit more between the relationship between him and Lamar Hoskins. And it really does tell what it's like being the military and dealing with the stuff that you have to do in order to win and get the rewards that you didn't ask for, because you just simply do this for the job, and you do this for the job, or you do this to sacrifice yourself for the United States of America.
So he leaves the courtroom, kind of opposite of Iron Man 2 when Iron Man left the Senate hearing on Capitol Hill. So he's walking out, goes outside, and then boom, it's Elaine.
Yeah, Julia Dryas is playing. If I can say this right again, Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fortina. She's, and be honest with you, in the combo, she's really not that important. She is important because she is a lover for Nick Fury. So hopefully in the future we get to just see her and Samuel Jackson play off each other. But in the combo, she is a Shield agent, a Hydra agent, and a Leviathan agent.
She's a triple changer.
Yeah, and remember when we talked about the her character was supposed to first appear in Black Widow, but since Black Widow didn't come out as soon as possible, her character first appeared in Falcon Winter Soldier. So right now we might get to see her in Black Widow.
Okay, so she's out there working her magic, wheeling and dealing. What's going on here?
She's trying to talk to John, try to tell him, hey, we know what happened, and we know that they were wrong for what they did to you. So we want to make a deal with you. And she's probably trying to tell him that, hey, when I give you a phone call, you pick up and we do what we got to do.
All right. Then Bucky still making amends.
Yeah, we switch over to Bucky and Zima in Sokovia. Well, what's left of Sokovia. And looking at the statue of his home, and then where the Winter Soldier shows up and says, "Hey, I'm going to take you in." And first he looked like he's taking it as in he's going to shoot the guy, but he absolutely doesn't, which is surprising.
Yeah, I thought he was out of there. I was like, okay, well, Zemo's not the power broker. Next, like we getting all the predictions wrong from the other video.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed myself because I kept on saying Zemo was probably working for the power broker, or Zemo's going to go back to Madripoor, but actually it was just wrong. I guess they try to do cleanup since this is going to be a short mini series. But I was kind of glad that Bucky's character got a redemption for this, because he actually gets a chance to catch him, and then the Dora Milaje catches up and takes care of him.
Yep, they were waiting in the wings. Good setup there. Great for Bucky's therapy. Strike that off the list. I like when Zemo said, I took the liberty of marking myself off of your list.
Yeah, they probably just imagined that. Kept on thinking that, did Zemo actually thought that he was going to was in the end was going to live through this, or did he just scratch the name off just so that he could hunt Bucky if Bucky winds up killing him?
I think he thought Bucky was going to take him out, because when Bucky walked up, he said, surprised it took you this long. He said, don't worry, I'm not going to kill you. I guess Zemo's last attempt to reason with Bucky. So yeah, he thought he was out of there. He thought Bucky was about to go ahead and finish him.
I'll tell you this though, if this is David Bruhl's last performance as Zemo, I will just say bravo. I wish there was more for this character, even though we did have him in Captain America Civil War as the main villain. It's just that I feel like there's more to this character than expected.
Oh, indeed. I do like the fact he's, headed back to Wakanda to serve his sentence, but in true Zemo style, he's almost like a secondary Loki. He's going to find a way to work some magic, make another great escape.
If you remember, it was in Captain America Civil War when all the other heroes, they were in the prison. Mm-hmm. That was the raft.
All right, well, he'll be in there. No escaping from that. It looked cold wherever that was.
Well, there might be a chance he'll escape. And we see Sam and Ayo make amends to each other, because I think Ayo's still mad at him because of the fact that you let go of the killer that killed their king. You still make amends to capture the guy and help and give us a heads up so that we can catch him too. We get to see Sam come back to Baltimore to see Isaiah Bradley one more time, and he gets a chance to meet up with his grandson, which I hope that if in the future they do come back to this character, Elijah, and let him become part of the Young Avengers, because Disney Plus or the Marvel Studios been playing around with bringing the Young Avengers to the future for the MCU.
Yeah, so do you think there's a chance that Torres will end up as Falcon with the Young Avengers?
I think so. I think there's a chance he will, or he'll just be an independent contractor just like Sam was.
All right, so he goes in, shows Isaiah Bradley the shield, and then what?
He sort of tried to show the shield to Isaiah, but Isaiah was like, "Nah, I don't need to see that shield because it doesn't belong to me. It doesn't belong to you." And then there was a point where Sam said, "Don't give me that bitterness, old man." And then Isaiah said, "You that bitterness is either my bitterness or you are so damn blind."
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a lot of stories about that shield that's been tainted. And it feels like it's like ever since Sam has taken this shield, he feels like it doesn't belong to him. And I feel like with Sam trying to get some clarity and some clarity about the story behind Isaiah, or why he didn't take up the shield, or why he didn't become the next Captain America, it brought up the past of the story about what happened when Isaiah was put in jail for 30 years. And it's kind of sad that this character who has made a whole lot of sacrifice, probably made more sacrifices than Steve Rogers himself, is put into jail for something that he thought he was doing the right thing. Now turn around, if it did happen, Captain America: First Avengers, Steve went into their prison camp and save his friends from being prisoner for the Nazis. Vice versa, Isaiah Bradley, he did the same thing. He tried to rescue his friends from a prison camp, and what happened? He goes to jail for 30 years.
All right, Carly, putting the master plan together. What we got?
No, we haven't seen Carly in a minute, so she in the minute of this episode. So we get to see her and Patron de Lipa show up, and he gives her weapons and try to tell her, "Hey, I was sent by our anonymous source or sponsor to help you out with your plan." And her plan is simply to go to the GRC and take it over and try to make them not pass this bill, which would make the people who've been blipped move back to their places, and the people who weren't blipped move them to another refugee camp, which would probably make the whole thing, which would probably mess up the whole world or the economy, because I do agree it doesn't need to be passed. But she's going to do it in a violent way. She's probably going to try to take some people out.
Yeah, the way episode 5 ended, I just hope they're not gearing up for some big Infinity War in-game type fight in episode 6, because I'm going to just cut the TV off and walk out the room.
Maybe a Winter Soldier ending. Because I'll be honest with you, I really expect Carl to just be taken out quickly, and then the power broker shows up and say, let me get her blood, and then, okay, making some more serums.
Yeah, could be. All right, post-credit scene. Here we go.
Yeah, we see John Walker. He's making another shield, and he's very pissed off about it. And he's using some of his own medals of honor just to make up the shield, or it's probably going to be part of the shield. He doesn't have the shield anymore. He still thinks he's Captain America, so he's going to make his own shield. And I think he's going to change the costume a bit. I think we actually going to see the actual U.S. agent in the next episode. So, like I said, Wyatt Russell's character with John F. Walker is probably the best thing you've probably seen in the MCU in a minute, because we get a chance to see how a hero becomes a villain really quickly.